Hello, community building breathwork program. I'm Kate, and I know some of you, and hello to those of you who I don't know. I'm in the program, but I'm not able to do Monday nights with you all, so it's nice to pop in and um, say hi and get to share about what is my most favorite thing to talk about right now, which is the community support aspect of all of the work and growth and development that we do, because to do something to do this meaningful work with the loving connection witnessing of a supportive community, um, it just takes us so many volumes further than we could go on our own, and it's a beautiful, very important and exciting part of what we do, with our work on our path in the life in this life. So, I work with, as you know, my mentor Jack Fontana, who I've been working with for a handful of years now, doing groups and doing our own private journey breathing, and developing um, various things, group wise and training wise. Um, so one of the benefits of working in tandem with somebody else. For me, it's a mentorship. I learn a lot. I'm able to continue to be supported in my growth. But also, Jack and we are enticing to a different demographic. So what we offer together is diverse, and that can be exciting. People come into a group experience with people they might not normally interface with, younger people, older people, out there people, or more conservative people, people coming from different backgrounds. That's exciting all on its own, and it can be, if we're able to break down there's differences here. We're all here because we need support. We're all here because we're learning and we're growing, and we want to feel whole and connected and alive. So bringing that humanity to the forefront, in a group that could outwardly appear diverse is really exciting, and can contribute to the healing. There's, for me, the when I think about the way that community breathwork, which New Orleans community breathwork is something I do, as how I refer to my breathwork community here in New Orleans, and there are the sort of structural components to it, which are having all my people who feel like members of my community, either core members or more peripheral members. They are all under one umbrella, which is my email list, and I cherish that. I love it. It's more helpful to me than any social media platform out there, because I can consistently send an email newsletter to everybody in that community every month. What I have in there is a listing of the weekly classes, the date and theme of the monthly community workshop Breathe, the other classes that I teach, and I have a personal to the community. I have a check-in, like, hey, how are you? And then all of that information is in one place, and everybody's getting it, whether they read it or not. They know that it's coming, and they know that it's there. And we stay, the community as a place to plug into for support, stays on everybody's radar, which has been really valuable. The other thing that's been really supportive to our community is the consistency. Big group every month. Weekly classes are happening on Wednesday. These all developed organically based on what the community was feeling like it was needing. And it started small. I mean, our community is the people that breathe with us, the people that we've connected to, in the field of breath work, the people we breathe with. So how do we communicate with all of them, give them all the same information, and how do we make an offering that is consistent, so they know and have some faith that they can plug into that when it's needed. Um, so the email list, the newsletter, the consistency. Another thing that really is, it's representational, but it's also just the really physical map of our community, is the supportive practitioners list, which is something that I made when I started to realize. I looked around the room during one particularly robust community session, and I was like, there are professionals and people with just such high caliber skills in the room. There are body workers and psychotherapists and people doing somatics and gestalt, and people working with energy and Akashic records, people who are chiropractors or medical doctors or just the offering of supportive herbalists, acupuncturists. So the people in the room all had some skills, and so I thought, well, let's put them all on a list that has here's what they do, here's who they are, what they do, and their contact info, their email or their website, so that people have a community breathwork. It's not this page, but they have a community breathwork list of supportive practitioners. So they're looking for a plumber or somebody to connect to, potentially related to a 12-step program or recovery program, or somebody to help them realign their spine. They can look at that, and then we have the beauty of having a list of our community on refrigerators all over the city, and so people are. We have the energy of community is that it's more than just for me the monthly group where most of the community members have an opportunity to come together, but it's a sense that I am wanted, I am felt, I am seen, I'm a participant within this greater field of support. So one of the values that that is forefront for me in holding the community space is that people feel wanted and feel respected and feel seen. And there's kind of the structural elements to community, which are things that we build and maintain, and then the intuitive aspect of community, which is every single personal connection that we have with the people that are coming to us, that are joining us, that are checking us out, that are participating, that they again feel seen and wanted and appreciated and welcomed to participate in a way that's groups can be a hard thing for people to walk into. It brings up a lot of our stuff. It brings up a lot of potentially insecurities, or where do we fit, or where do we what is our contribution here, and to be received well in a loving and kind way it just goes so far. So we set a call and text message and email people individually. Hey, I haven't heard from you. We haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going okay. Or, hey, I was just thinking of you. Or, new person. Thank you so much for joining us today. You really brought a lot to the table. And are you interested in being on our supportive practitioners list? Just engaging people. And that's coming from a not sitting down, respond to every person that was at the practice, that was at the session, but just more of an intuitive making space in your life so that you can, okay, now I'm going to kind of connect to my community. Oh, this person, that person. It's an intuitive connecting that can go on, but it's really the personal connections that we have. Yeah, I think that that somebody was saying, I can't remember who it was that said that community it will be the next Buddha, and I feel like that's true in terms of what I'm learning and how community is drawing me out of myself, and really supporting my own personal practice, and I can see it in the vulnerability and sincerity of these groups, that people to say something that's true for them, to experience something that's true for them, and then to say it out loud and have the loving and present eyes of their community feeling them, hearing them, and supporting them. It just takes us so much farther than we could get to on our own. So I'm very excited about it, and I wish I was having this conversation in some kind of live way, but I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about what's happening for community building in New Orleans. It's absolutely my favorite thing. So love you guys all, and have a great rest of your program.